I, 38 years old male, just found out that my brother, 19 years old male, has been perving on my wife, 37 years old female. Throwaway cause I'm still the only one that knows. Background: my brother has been staying with us since lockdown. After his university closed, he couldn't stay with our parents cause they just sold the house and moved to a one-bedroom apartment and our sister lives in a different part of the country. He was the oops baby, so I hope that explains the age gap. My wife and I have a 5-bedroom home, but currently don't have children yet. We decided to adopt 2 kids in our 40s, so we let him stay here. My brother has always been different. He's a bit of a loner and doesn't have a lot of friends outside of his online group. He's a shy geeky kid, but he's otherwise alright, or so I thought, when you get to know him. So here's what happened. The Wi-Fi doesn't quite reach my brother's room, so he usually does his schoolwork and other stuff in the dining room. A few nights ago, I was walking to the fridge after waking up in the middle of the night. Wife and I sleep early, and saw my brother working on something out, and as I got closer, I saw a very compromising picture of my wife, cleavage shot as she was gardening. He noticed me and quickly closed the window like he was watching porn. I was too shell-shocked to say anything at that time, and he just smiled awkwardly and ran to his room with the laptop. When I realized that something was up, I knew I had to find out. The next day, I asked my brother to pick up some groceries and some lunch for us, and while he was away, I went to his room, something I've never done since he moved, and, well, it wasn't pretty. I saw a couple of my wife's bras and some of her panties, which I can only assume he used to pleasure himself. I took his laptop and decided to snoop. I knew his password cause I borrowed his Crunchyroll account to watch this anime my friend recommended. I don't usually watch anime. There I saw some of the most sickening entries I've read. There were pictures of my wife in a towel, her working out, her in compromising positions, etc., all taken without her consent by the looks of it. The effer even logs every time he touches himself to the image of my wife. The creepiest part? He sometimes listens in on us when we have sex. My wife can be a bit loud, but we didn't think it would be a problem since his bedroom was in a different part of the house, guest bedroom. I left the room feeling like I needed a shower. It was absolutely disgusting. Now I don't know what to do. I find myself fighting the urge to pummel him into next week every time I see him. I haven't told my wife yet cause I'm 100% sure she will feel violated and disgusted, so I want to find the best solution first before doing so. I so desperately want to kick him out. But he has nowhere else to go. Even if I do, what should I tell my parents? The truth? This will most likely break the family apart. I do plan on telling my wife soon. But if I do, I can almost guarantee she would want nothing to do with him and would never want to visit the family if he's around. I'm so freaking lost right now. Any advice will help. Still fighting the urge to beat my brother to a bloody pulp. Edit: if you're wondering, I did take pictures as proof. Small update: I told my wife. The Redditors who said I should tell her first before anything cause she was the victim were absolutely right. I'm giving her all the power to decide what to do about it. A lot has happened, but there are still things that need to be settled. Too long to add here and too incomplete to make a new update post. Hopefully we'll have everything settled tomorrow or the day after. I'll write the update once everything is settled and I calm down. No, I'm not going to beat up my brother, but I have thought about it. And to the people asking for the pics: you're disgusting. Hope the women in your life are proud of you. That's my wife, please have some respect. Make a copy of everything. Edit: oops, pressed enter too soon. Everything. But you need that evidence. Take pics of what you found in his room and where you found it. Take it away. Tell your parents to collect him, confront him, then kick him out. He absolutely does not nor can't be trusted to be in your house or around your wife. Also tell her ASAP. She'll feel betrayed if you kick him out without telling her. She deserves to know. If you're not telling her because you're afraid of how she'll react, then that only proves that he needs to go and you need to tell her. I'm sorry, man. My nephew got himself into a similar situation. This is definitely one of those issues that divides a family, and you're just gonna have to accept that. You have a responsibility to your wife here. She will feel even more violated if she found out you were covering for him, no matter the reason. She needs to know ASAP, and your brother needs to be kicked out immediately. Keep the laptop and all the evidence you found. Your wife may decide to press charges against him and you will need the proof to back it up. Take videos of your wife's things in his room and the log he's created on his laptop. Tell your parents the reason he's been kicked out, but share only the details your wife feels comfortable with him knowing. My stepsister is telling my whole family my boyfriend got her pregnant to make herself feel better. Sorry, weird title. So I met my 25F boyfriend Tim 26M 3.5 years ago. We hit it off, he was great and sweet and we get along perfectly, until I introduced him to my family. My mother had gotten remarried a few months earlier. I like my stepdad and we get along fine, My stepsister Sarah, who is 26F, and we're friendly, but not besties by any means. She is kind of an intense party girl, and being in our 20s we only saw each other at family events. So I introduced Tim to my family, at which point we learned that Sarah used to date Tim when they were 20. It was only a few months and Tim said they broke up because she made out with another guy at a nightclub while drunk. Sarah got upset and started saying I had to break up with him because it was weird. She called Tim her sloppy seconds and tried to get our parents to force us to break up. I said no. It had been years since they'd been together and I didn't even know Sarah when she was dating Tim. I got pretty upset because my family jumped on the bandwagon of saying we should break up. For the past few years at any family gathering, Sarah would mention how they used to date and act like I stole her boyfriend, and has been selling that narrative to my family and friends. It became obvious that she was jealous, but I liked Tim, so we just ignored it and kept dating. So now a few years later, Tim and I live together and we've been talking about marriage and stuff, and I recently had a conversation with my mom about how I thought Tim was going to propose because he's not exactly subtle, and we've talked about this for a while. At which point Sarah, who just moved back in without parents, walked in. She started asking a bunch of invasive questions about our relationship and being weird. Sarah is 4 months pregnant. The father, she said, was some deadbeat guy she'd hooked up with who wants nothing to do with her, but she wants to keep the baby. I'd been making an effort taking her to appointments and offering to help babysit and trying to be excited for her, until a week ago when my stepdad sent me a long text saying how I can't marry Tim because he is the real father of Sarah's baby. I was immediately very upset and confronted Tim, who was completely shocked and said Sarah was lying. He said there's no way and he didn't cheat on me and he would gladly have a paternity test to prove that. Unsure, I asked Sarah for more details about when they slept together, which she says happened a few times. She was shaky and went back and forth on details. The dates and times don't match up with what I can remember of what Tim and I have been doing. She also said she came to our house to see him, but since the pandemic I've been working from home, so I can't imagine that they managed that. I'm pretty sure now that she's lying to get us to break up because she's still jealous. But now my family are involved and have been sending me hateful messages saying I need to break up with Tim and let him be with Sarah. She's telling everyone he's in love with her and I'm keeping him from her. She has no proof and he strictly denied everything. I texted her asking for proof of any of this happening and she sent me some fake photoshopped screenshots that I can tell are fake, where she's put Tim's name over a friend's number and pretended he was messaging her. I checked in the friend all, but admitted it to me and tried to laugh it off. She badly photoshopped the timestamps. I actually don't know what to do now. I believed him and we are still together, but this has kind of thrown a wedge in everything. Sarah has poisoned my relationship with our parents and my family. I feel sick to my stomach and Sarah is now saying she won't give me a paternity test. For now I've cut everyone off except Tim, but I don't know what to do now. You can have Tim file a paternity action in court based on the accusations. Then a court order would force Sarah into admitting that she is lying. Edit. Thanks for the awards and everything, but I should add that OP definitely needs to talk to an attorney first. Tell her paternity test or shut the F up. Tell the whole family that they are cut off if she doesn't have the paternity test. They are taking her side without proof. My 24 years old male girlfriend, 26 years old female, fully believes that she is a cat in a human's body. Update link 1 in description. DLDR, GF now thinks she is another kin, a cat in a human's body, and refuses to see anything wrong with the situation. The echo chamber she is now has done nothing but enable her, and I don't know what to do. I know people are going to think I'm either trolling or baiting, but please read before you comment. Plus this post has nothing to do with gender or trans issues and I am in no way intending to be offensive or anything. So GF and I have been together for nearly 8 months, and she's always been a very quirky and nerdy person, does cosplays, very into anime and role-playing, etc. Nothing too weird. We've been kinda distant lately with everything going on and me being an essential worker, so haven't seen each other and only talked for half an hour a day. Well, last Tuesday we got to hang out at her place and she wore cat ears and a belt with a tail the entire time. At first I thought it was either going to be a sex surprise or her testing a new cosplay, but nope. She sat me down, asked me if I really do love her, then hit me with a very long monologue that essentially summed up to I'm a cat in a human body. Wish I was joking. I thought I misunderstood and then believed that maybe it was a weird joke, but she kept being serious about it, and doubling down. I left shortly after because I had a shift at work, and I still believed it was an oddly drawn-out joke, nothing more. She ended up texting me with resources to help me understand, which is when I realized that she really is serious. Apparently she believes she is another kin, a person who holds the belief that they are not human. She says she was introduced to this by one of her friends months ago and has since joined discords and communities of others like her. Her friend believes he is a demon trapped in a human body, and she sent me a testimonial that was supposed to be touching. But it's basically just about a dude thinking he is Naruto. I'm not joking. She explained her other kin type as being a cat, and now she 100% thinks she is a cat. How did she know she was a cat, you ask? According to her, sleeping a lot, liking the sun, hating water, feeling more comfortable crawling on all fours, and claiming to understand what cats are saying and being able to talk to them through meowing. She has also apparently been distant with nearly everybody we know IRL, as I got multiple messages asking me to let her know to be in touch with them. My head has been spiraling this past week. I keep thinking it's a joke. But nope, she is deathly serious about this and has handed in her 2 weeks resignation at her job because cats don't work. Again, I wish I was joking. I've been limiting my interactions with her ever since, because this is hurting my head a whole lot and I just can't cope. She has also surrounded herself with a large amount of yes men and women who support her 100% and are enabling this, some even encouraging her to make a Patreon and make other kin content that they would contribute to, which she brought up when I asked her about quitting her job. To make things worse, I can't discuss this with anyone in real life because I know how crazy it sounds and I know that leaving her is a valid option. But I'm in love with this woman and now I don't recognize her and I know that there is something very wrong and I can't reach out to her and she refuses to hear anything from me unless it is unconditional support. What the F do I do? Edit. Just got off work and was very surprised with the amount of comments. I honestly just expected a bunch calling me crazy. I'm reading through them now and I want to say thank you to everybody who took the time out of their day to give me advice. I truly appreciate it. To address some things, her and I have been friends for 2+ years prior to dating, so that is why I am reluctant to just up and leave. I've read a comment asking if she has a history of mental illness, and not to my knowledge, aside from her being diagnosed with mild social anxiety in high school. I am going to try and reach out to her mom to get her to check up on her, and maybe even visit. They have a good relationship, so maybe that will help. Yesterday was the first time I truly confronted what was going on, as I have been kind of shelving it and just praying and hoping it was some kind of drawn-out joke. But now that I've had time to truly ponder it, I think it has been a long time coming. She's been buying a lot of cat memorabilia and a lot of her cosplays are cat-related, and when I brought up the possibility of me getting a cat in the near future, she made a joke about being too territorial for a cat, and now that I think about it, well, yeah. I don't know who Demon Man really is, all I know is that he has been part of her virtual D&D group since last year. Also, so far no litterbox in the picture. Sorry to disappoint/relieve some of you. When I asked her about her plans as a cat other than quitting her job, she had sent me her to-do list, which I didn't bother opening or reading until yesterday because I was too busy wishing all of this was a fever dream. The to-do list includes purchasing a scratch post for her nails, switching to a carnivore diet, and dyeing her hair red because she is a ginger cat. Yup. As much as it hurts, I have no intention to continue to be in a romantic relationship with her because she will absolutely not hear anything if it's not 100% support. I love her, but I love myself and I don't want to be dragged down to something like this, especially when it feels like I'm talking to a brick wall. I will however try to remain in contact with her just to make sure she's not spiraling towards a mental break. I will visit her today to have a talk and officially break it off, even though she's been refusing to see me unless I am completely on board. I will update if anything interesting happens. Then I will buy a couple of bottles of alcohol and down them in my flat. No judgment. I've really enjoyed the cat puns, and apparently I need to Google who Maureen is. I'm really sorry for you. I did some research on otherkin and I think that your GF has slipped into a culture that only exists on the internet. I would ask her how she thinks she will support herself as a cat. She quit her job. Now what? Not much work available if you have chosen to go too far out there. If I were in your shoes, I would slowly distance myself from her. Let her sleep in the sun and lick her paws, but don't start paying her bills. If she does not wake up soon, I would continue to remove myself from her delusion. Eventually, you are out of the picture. I know that you care for her, but you should never be responsible for her. She has chosen to do this. My own philosophy is that you should let people live their lives as they want, as long as it's not harming anyone else. But in this case I don't think you need to be there and watch this. Otherwise just tell her you're a dog and don't get along with cats. Cats don't really communicate with each other through meows, though. Those are mostly for humans. My 27/F cousin, 27/F, confessed that she was in love with my husband, 29/F. She's currently living with us and I have no idea how to act. Ops, I made a typo in the title, sorry. I meant husband, 29/M. Literally what the title says. My cousin has been living with us for the past 4 months along with her toddler so she can save up to get her own place. Yesterday, whilst my husband was out, she asked me if we could talk. I thought she was going to ask me if she could stay a little while longer. The original plan was for 6 months, but instead she gave me a long speech about how she was in love with my husband, how she tried to make the feelings go away, but they keep getting stronger, and how she thinks he might be her soulmate. She kept apologizing, but said that when she sees him with her son, she knows her family is complete and he could offer her and her son the stability they need. I was honestly so shocked I just said, I need time to process this. I've been avoiding her since. My husband has been holed up in his office working, so he hasn't noticed anything weird yet. I think I'm still reeling from the shock. I can't even ask her to move out because her family disowned her when she had a baby out of wedlock. I haven't told anyone in real life yet either because I know they're all just going to tell me to kick her out. But I can't make my nephew homeless during a pandemic. What do I do? TLDR, my cousin, who is staying with us for another 2 months, thinks my husband is her soulmate. I have no idea how to act around her now. Help. Edit. I wrote it in the comments already, but just to add, she claims she's had these feelings for at least 4 years and they've just grown so strong recently that she couldn't keep it in anymore. Also, her son is 18 months. Update. I spoke to my husband. He was shocked and a little uncomfortable. He apologized and said he didn't mean to give her the wrong impression. Neither of us are quite sure what we're going to do yet, since he also doesn't want to leave my nephew homeless. We're discussing it. I wasn't going to update until we'd solved the issue, but literally every comment is telling me to tell him, so just to let you guys know I have. I mean, did she expect you to excuse yourself from the relationship so she could have him? WTF. You definitely need to talk to your husband. I don't think she's actually in love with him. I think she's grieving from her family unit being blown up and she sees a man providing what she doesn't have and she wants that. Thank you all for listening. Have a great day. See you later.